Meet Joel Silverman, professional trainer and lifelong animal lover. He and his buddy Foster are here to make training easier for you and your dog. Yep, and your cat too. When Joel sees animals, he sees their true colors. There's the high-spirited red dog, the willing-to-please orange dog, the laid-back yellow dog, the apprehensive green dog, and the submissive blue dog. The only question is, what color is your dog?
I'm Joel Silverman, thanks for watching. Today we're going to be working with an older pit bull mix named Buzzy from Nevada Humane Society. And Buzzy had a cheating problem. You tell him to sit and stay and he would scoot forward. You have that problem with your dog? If you do, you're not going to want to miss this segment. That'll be happening a little later on. Let's take a look at today's show.
In our Animal Actor segment, we're going to be visiting with one of Hollywood's top animal trainers, Mark Harden, who's coordinated the animal action on a number of movies like Underdog, Cats and Dogs, and Pirates of the Caribbean. In our cat training segment, I'm going to show you how to teach your cat to go to a mark or a place.
But first up, lessons with Luke. Okay, we're with Luke, and Luke is a 6-month-old Havanese puppy, and we're with Bailey. Bailey's going to be helping me out. Bailey's been in the animal business for a long time. She started young, and you do rescue work with pit bulls, right?
Yes, I do.
And have you ever worked with a little dog like this?
We actually have a little dog too,
Oh,
Jack
you do?
Russell.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, so you're into like little dogs. Today we're going to be focusing on teaching your dog to sit. Okay, a puppy to sit, and we're going to be focusing on capturing the sit. This is called capturing a sit, meaning that the dog is going to sit on its own, and as the dog sits, we're going to pair the word sit and a visual cue. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So what we're going to first do is guide the dog down. Now, this is stuff that you can do, kind of guiding the dog down off this elevated area with a treat. So what Bailey's going to do is guide the dog down. You can just kind of bring the treat. There you go. Good, all the way down there. And she's going to basically tell the dog to go on, and when the dog turns around and sits, she's going to say sit at the same time. Watch this, okay?
Go on. Sit.
Oops. There you go, good. Very, very nice. And if you find your dog plopping into a lying down position, some dogs will do that. What you want to do is you want to keep the treat high as the dog turns around. So this next time she does it, she's going to keep the treat high so the dog doesn't go into that lying down position. So we'll do it one more time, okay?
Come on. Good boy. Go on. Sit.
Perfect.
Good boy.
Notice that the treat stayed high like that, okay? And go ahead, yeah, that's it. Okay, good. And even though we plop down, we're not working the lie down right now. Some dogs will just offer this lie down. We're only focusing on the sit. We're not going to reward the dog right now for lying down, okay? We're only focusing on the sit, okay? Just like that. Now, sometimes what I'll do is I will guide the dog in a sitting position. So see if you can just take the treat and put it over his head and guide him into a sitting position. Good, and reward him.
Good boy.
Good. Tell him to stay.
Stay.
Good, and reward him. Oops. Then we'll get him back in the sitting position again. Okay.
Sit.
Great.
Stay.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Good boy.
And we'll guide him back down again, and we'll do the same thing we just did. Okay? That was real nice.
Okay.
If you notice, a lot of times you can just use treats just to guide the dog.
Sit.
Perfect.
Good boy.
And reward him.
Good
Great.
boy.
That was much better. Didn't go into the lie down right there, which is real, real nice. That's super. Okay? What you want to start doing is, if you notice she's got the treat in her hand, kind of guiding the dog, what you want to start doing is fading out the treat, okay? So as the dog goes up, the dog basically turns around, but she still gives the dog the cue to sit, which is this, okay? And then she rewards the dog. So this time there's going to be no treat in your hand, okay? Beautiful. And we're going to take the dog down here, and you're going to say go. You can hold the dog there. You can hold him, and you just say go on. As soon as he turns around, you're going to say sit. Give him the cue to sit, just like this, okay?
Go on. Sit.
And
Good
reward.
boy.
Perfect. That was excellent.
Good boy.
Okay, great. And the only thing we're going to do, that was beautiful. The only thing I want you to do is when he turns around, just give him this cue. This is the cue to sit, just like this. Perfect, just like so.
Okay.
That was excellent. That was nice. Okay, and we'll just one more time. Luke, you are doing great. So here we go. One more time.
Go on. Go on. Sit. Good boy.
That was great. Okay, excellent.
Good
All right,
boy.
that's training your puppy to sit. We'll be right back. When you're training an orange dog, remember where the orange dog is on our color spectrum. It's between a yellow dog and a red dog. If you incorporate a lot of control in your training session, your orange dog can become a yellow dog. If you don't and let him become out of control, the orange dog can become a red dog. You always want your dog to move to the center of the spectrum. You know, I get a lot of questions from dog owners, and one of the biggest questions is, why do dogs end up in humane societies? One of the biggest reasons is training issues. Today we're going to train a brand new dog right here in Nevada Humane Society. This is Buzzy. Buzzy is an older pit bull, and if you know anything about me, I love pit bulls. Pit bulls are some of my favorite dogs, and some of the best dogs I've seen at trade shows across the United States, or amongst other dogs, have been pit bulls and pit bull mixes. So he's a cool dog. Now, Buzzy is an orange dog. He's pretty high strung, even though he's a little older. But Buzzy has this issue, and I'm sure that you folks might have the same issue with your dog, and that is you tell your dog to sit, and he's sitting really, really good, okay? But as soon as you get back just a little bit, so you get back a little bit, stay, he scoots up, okay? Now let's try this one more time again. We show you it again. Sit, stay, stay, just scoot it up, okay? Two things you can do. One thing is you can take your dog and move your dog on an elevated area, get him on an elevated area, which is something that I would recommend. But let's say you're in a situation where you do want to train him on flat ground. What you want to do, what I would do, is bring him back, okay? And what you want to do is take your left hand, if you're right-handed, take your right hand giving the stay cue, but the left hand with the collar, okay? And so we want to make sure the dog is watching us. And then what you want to do is just basically hold him back like that, okay? And if he does scoot, I can correct him just a little bit, just like that, okay? Sit. Great. Keep him back. Sit, stay. That's excellent, real nice. Stay there, stay. Reward him, okay? You can see that I'm kind of holding him back a little bit. Stay, stay. So just that one little correction right there really made a little bit of it, made a difference there. Stay. And remember too that a dog doesn't know how to do it right unless it does it wrong. You know, the fact that your dog does scoot and kind of getting up like this on his own or whatever, they make a mistake, just make him repeat the behavior, okay? Here's Buzzy, good. One more time. Sit, stay, stay. Step back, stay. This is really good. 4 feet away, I mean for a dog that was just scooting, stay. And reward, and I'm gonna release him. Always make sure you release your dog. Okay, good boy, good job. That's very, very nice. That's a good boy, good job. And one more time, make him sit, stay, stay. If you look at him, it looks like kind of like he's smiling, doesn't it? Stay. We'll reward him. All right, good. And when we come back, we are going to see if we can get him to do some other things, maybe even lie down. Don't go away. Your body language can have a major impact in the training of orange dogs. Quite often these dogs require you to be slower moving and more deliberate in your actions. This is Buzzy. Buzzy is a pit bull, and we did a segment with him before we went to commercial where we just got him to stay in one place. And Buzzy's problem was he wanted to scoot. So I just basically what I did is again I just held the leash back. And if he got up, I was able to correct him, okay? Just by correcting him a few times, got him in the position where he stayed there, and now I could stand up, step back a little bit, and not have to worry about him scooting, just like that. And I am going to reward him for that, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna experiment and see if we can get Buzzy to lie down. He's a really, really cool dog. He's an older dog. Sit. He does have a really cool little sit on him. And let's just see. Now what I like to do is I like to start off with the dog in a sitting position. Sit. Great. And what I want to do is just guide the dog down with the treat. Lie down. Very good. That's a good boy. Just like so. And just say stay, stay. And reward him. Good. Very, very nice. And I'm going to guide him back up. Sit. Just like that. So you want to use the treat to kind of guide the dog upward and downward. Now this guy's 8 years old, so people say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's not true. Okay. Lie down. Just like that. Very good. Say stay, stay. And we'll reward him. Okay, Very nice. That's very, very good. Sometimes with dogs, especially dogs that are orange dogs that are a little high strung, using tactile rewards, petting the animal is really, really super important. Very good. It's okay. Very nice. Come here, Fuzzy. Come here. Back around. Good. Sit. I know. Very good. That's a good boy. Just petting their chest a little bit. Good job. Very nice. You good boy. Okay. One more time. I'm going to use the treat and guide him down again. Lie down. Great. Okay. He's actually doing that really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fade out the treat. I'm basically going to use my hand instead of using the treat. Okay? So we'll get him back up in a sitting position. Sit. Okay. Stay. Very nice. And watch this. We're going to look like we got the treat. Lie down. Stay. Wow. Pretty good. Not too bad. Good job. This is a very cool dog. Okay. One more time. Sit. Here we go. One more time. Fuzzy, watch me. Lie down. Stay. What was kind of interesting is he kind of repositioned his hips a little bit as we did that, which I kind of like too. That kind of means the dog is going to stay, is really wanting to, lie down and stay there for a second. He's not apt to get up right away. Stay. Okay. Okay. Very, very nice. And, oops, we'll do it one more time. Actually, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to stand up. Stay. Lie down. Stay. That was great. That was excellent. And what I'm going to do is get him back up again. And now we're going to see if we can do it from a little bit of a distance. Okay, stay. Good, stay. Sit. Stay. Lie down. Stay. That was great. That was a good one. And that is a great one to end on. Good job. And that was awesome. I love pit bulls.
Don't underestimate your dog. Most dogs have the potential to learn just about anything.
Animal actors, take one.
35 years of training all kinds of animals for movies, TV shows, and commercials, Mark Harden has established himself as one of Hollywood's premier animal trainers. Working at Boone's Animals for Hollywood for years, Mark has excelled at coordinating some of the top motion pictures that involve dozens of animals and animal trainers like Catwoman, Underdog, and Cats and Dogs.
Okay, we are with my buddy Mark Harden, and Mark and I go way back. We started actually training animals together over 30 years ago, and which tells you how old we are.
I was 5.
I have. And so, but anyways, since that time, Mark has just done a lot of stuff, and he's actually stayed as a movie animal trainer. I kind of backed off a while ago. But Mark has a great history, and I want to talk a little bit about that. And you started off as a wild animal trainer.
I did.
How long did you do that for?
18 years.
18 years. And so you made a transition to another company, okay?
I got an opportunity to go to another company called Boone's Animals for Hollywood, who really didn't do as much of the big animals at the time, but he was transitioning with a movie called Polly, A Parrot's Tale, and he needed a bird trainer. So I'd done a lot of parrot work and bird work, so I came to his company, who didn't have any bird trainers at the time. It transitioned accidentally, really, into mostly dogs and cats and small animals.
And is there anything that you started doing with dogs and cats that any techniques that you used with wild animals that you were able to use with the dogs and cats and birds at all? Or?
Yeah, I remember having a conversation years ago with a dog trainer, that they just did dogs and thought a wild animal trainer can't work a dog. And I was thinking, well, actually it's the opposite, because I don't have any preconceived notions. I'll get the trick however I can get it. I mean, if it's not like a dog, it might be like a leopard or a monkey, or I might train them like a bird. And I've had dogs that think more like birds, or a monkey than a dog, or cats. I mean, cats are more like working birds or monkeys, than dogs. So it's always, I'm always thinking of another way of doing it if I can't do it like a dog trainer.
And once you made the transition over to Boone's Place, I know that you worked on a lot of features that encompassed a lot of animals, a lot of trainers, a lot of challenges there?
Yeah, I mean, we did Cats and Dogs, the movie Cats and Dogs and Cats and Dogs 2, and we probably had 26 trainers on that. And I know in the first Cats and Dogs, remember, we had 112 animals working and like 26 trainers. And so what my responsibility on that was, where Boone, the owner of the company, dealt with production and the business of it, I dealt with the trainers and the training of it. more of the creative side of it and how to get all these people moving in the same direction. And we have dog trainers and cat trainers, and we're trying to all sort of go to the same goal. And I always prefer to train a principal animal myself because I love the training. So it's balancing the people, getting the right people with the right dogs, getting the right people with the right people, and then getting us all to sort of be working, paying, rewarding, and doing the same thing.
When you're casting the animals and you're casting the, you're hiring the trainer, if you have a dog that's real kind of a mellow dog, are you going to look for kind of a trainer to kind of come in with that kind of personality?
It depends on the character that we're going for. And one of the things I've always done as a trainer is I try to create characters. I'm not just a trainer. I'm a movie maker. I may not even be a very good animal trainer, but I'm a good movie maker. So I take an animal, I try to see what that character is, what that animal, why it's in that script, and what we have to do to get that done. And so that's my goal. And so I may have a sort of a slow, quiet animal that needs to pump it up a little bit. That animal might need a little more character than that. I might get a more high-strung trainer with that dog to bring a little more of that out of him. And vice versa. If I've got a big crazy dog that needs to slow down a little bit, I might bring in a quieter trainer to work that dog down. Or if it's a crazy animal that needs a crazy trainer, then you pair them. It depends on the character.
So is there anything you miss about working with wild animals?
No. There are things I miss. There's nothing I miss about being on set with wild animals.
Right.
Very stressful. The day I realized that the dog and cat people made the same amount of money as I did, what the heck? All you have to worry about is I'm not going to get the shot. Here I have to go, okay, people are going to die and I'm not going to get the shot.
Right.
So, I don't miss the stress. I miss probably playing with them, wolves, raising wolves. I love being with the wolves
Right.
and raising them. I don't miss anything about the big cats. They scared the water out of me from the get-go. I miss playing with the monkeys and the chimps,
Right.
I don't miss working them on set. Very
Right.
stressful.
All right, Mark, thanks a lot for coming on. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Orange or red dogs are the dogs you're going to see most in our working dog segment. Most of these dogs come from either working, sporting, or herding groups. Most orange or red dogs have a higher prey drive, meaning they simply need a job and they love to learn. Meet Mitch Schneider, the program director for the GI Dogs program, a program of Nevada Humane Society dedicated to providing service dogs and pets for Nevada's military veterans. Mitch, a former veteran himself, brings decades of training experience to the program and has also adopted a few dogs of his own. Okay, so Mitch, what are they going to do right now?
We're going to work on downing while healing by adding the movement to the downing exercise. It helps reinforce and gets the dog to understand that being asked to down can happen at any time, even while they're moving. And it helps increase their understanding of what down means and increases their reliability. So when they're out in public, you never know when you might need to say a command. We don't really want to pattern train dogs, all right? And that oftentimes happens even with competition dogs. They get so used to doing it only in this context. We want a service dog to be very reliable, and so we want them to be able to do it in any situation to obey that command. We're going to start doing that. Forward, everybody. All right, down your dog. And as soon as you can, as soon as they're down, get away from them and walk around the room. Keep moving. All right. As soon as you get back to your dog, go ahead and pick his leash up and start healing again.
So these dogs are trained to lie down and just turn their heads and not get up.
Yep. You're going to watch the other dogs and ignore the other dogs. All right. Go ahead, Larry. Forward. Zoe, forward as soon as you can. Okay, down your dog. Down. So now we noticed that Dante over here laid down and Tony was able to keep walking. Dogs are used to staying with the owners while healing.
Right.
Now all of a sudden we've changed the rules a little bit.
Exactly.
But
And they make a mistake, they just repeat it, right? They
Yep.
just
We
repeat
just,
the thing,
it
right?
takes repetition, timing, consistency, repetition, and then we need effective praise and we need effective corrections. But timing and anticipating the dog's mistake is the key to it.
Right, exactly.
And down your dogs.
So there is a lot of training that goes into this. How long does a dog take to complete the whole process to be ready to work out on the streets?
Well, in instructing the veterans themselves to help them train their own dogs, it takes about a year to accomplish what we want to accomplish with the dog. Get them reliable and they're safe out in public.
And it kind of varies. It does vary a little bit based
Right.
upon the people and things like that.
Yes.
Mitch, thanks a
Okay.
lot for coming on.
All right.
Here's a great tip on building a lasting relationship with your cat. You know, when many people adopt a cat from an animal shelter like this one, a lot of times they expect too much too soon. What I tell people is take the first 30 days and develop a great relationship using 3 phases. Phase number 1 is getting to know your cat. Phase number 2 is developing a relationship. And phase number 3 is building the trust. Once you have the trust, you can then train your cat, and then you can work with your cat on anything you want to do as far as, litter box training and so on and so forth. But the most important thing is not to expect too much too soon.
Okay, we're here with Steve Behrens, and we're here at Animals of Distinction, and this is Tuesday. Tuesday actually works with Steve, and she's going to be helping us out today. And we're going to be talking today about training complex behaviors with cats and, kind of chaining behaviors, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what are we going to do today? What are we going to do?
Well, we're going to have Tuesday bring out a cat that she's worked with. His name is Taj.
Uh-huh.
And he's going to go through, he's going to get up here, he's going to sit, he's going to come down, hit a mark. He's going to jump up onto the table, lie down. Then he's going to jump down, retrieve something, back up onto the table and put that into the little pan.
How old's Taj?
Taj, I say, would about 4 years old now.
This is a beautiful orange tabby. I mean, big head. This guy is just an awesome looking cat. And does he work a lot, or?
He's starting to. He's done a few things. He did Paranormal Activity this summer. I believe it was the 4th one or 5th one they've done. They've done so many now. And getting some commercials here and there. I think he did an IAMS commercial, and so he's getting out there and working a little bit more.
The behavior we're talking about this week is the mark.
Stay. Good.
There we go. He just hit it.
Great.
Now she's going to take him up onto the table and show you how this started with a little bigger mark. It's not quite as easy, the small one, but if we start with something a little bit bigger.
So the parameters are the cat has to put 1 foot on the mark, 2 feet on the mark?
I like 2 feet on the mark. You'll see a lot of people will do 1. I don't particularly like that because you'll a lot of times see the animal come up and then reach over with 1 foot. It looks very unnatural. So I like to concentrate on both feet going onto the mark, and generally looks more natural that way.
This is a good time to talk a little bit about the clicker. A lot of the folks that are watching the show are listening to the clicker. And what is the clicker to the cat?
The clicker to the cat is just a bridge. It's as if I said good to a dog. Cats do not understand words at the same level dogs do. So a stark sound like that, which in essence, when that's hit, is followed by food, to them means when I hear that sound, I'm getting food, and what was I doing right when I heard that sound? That's what I did right.
Right. They get a little excited and sometimes they go past that mark as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for everybody to understand, like when they're as they're watching Tuesday here, that she selectively reinforces or selectively rewards the cat when the cat's 2 feet are on that mark. And when that one the foot is off the mark, she's not going to reward the cat. She's just waiting for those 2 feet to be on there, and the cat starts registering, right, and put it together and say, okay, great.
Absolutely.
When both feet are on there, I'm rewarded for it.
Absolutely. When we're starting a behavior, we're generally bridging everything that's close. As we move along, we're getting more selective because now we want them to really be aware that we want this perfect, we want this right, and that's how we build these behaviors. That's how we shape the better behavior.
Right, and now once he's cool with that mark, then we go to something smaller like this one, correct?
We might take this mark and actually put it on top of that mark.
Oh, I
To
see.
begin with, we might do something like that. We might make that mark, we might just cut that mark down in size and work our way down.
And now he puts both.
There's
I
a-
guess
there's
it was really interesting. He put both feet on there. I mean, right on that mark. That was.
And that's the thing about training. There's a lot of different ways to do things.
You know, I tell people all the time, it's like, you know, the best animal trainers I've ever been around are the ones that are the most creative, and the ones that are very, very
Yeah.
creative and, you know.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of young trainers, and they'll develop some techniques, and they'll never adjust to the different animals. And really, that's the more advanced trainers. That's what they start to learn, is that not every technique is going to work for every animal. Sometimes you've got this particular cat is a very strong cat, kind of headstrong. You might be a little bit more pushy with him because he can take it. But a cat that's a real sensitive, shy cat, if you're pushy with him, you're going to turn him off. He's not going to enjoy it. So you've got to adjust your attitude and the different behaviors, the way you train your behavior.
Exactly, exactly. Well, this is great. This is excellent. So we'll just let him go one more time here. That's great. Both feet are on that mark, and we'll reward him. That was awesome. Steve, thanks a lot for coming on. Well, that is our show today. I want to thank all of our guests for coming on. And remember, orange dogs can come in all sizes and ages, as we showed you with Buzzy. And because of their desire to please, they can also learn very, very quickly, as you witnessed. I'm Joel Silverman, reminding you to bond with your heart, train with your brain. See you next time on What Color Is Your Dog?